Holy Paladins, your time has finally come. You spent 2 expansions being the buff boy and well, that's about to end. You're about to become the pillar, the actual foundation of healing in Wrath. Hi, I'm Aeon, and today, let's go over Holy Paladins in Wrath of the Lich King. I want to put this in to say, if you have any requests of guides you want to see, please put them in the comment section below, or you can join my Discord, tell me there, or join me on my live stream. Thank you so much, and let's carry on with the video. So first off, let's just go over the quick, what your job role is, your strength and your weaknesses. Now your job role as a paladin is to provide excellent tank and spot healing while also dipping into AoE healing a little bit as well. On top of that, you have absolute insane utility in many forms. We'll go over this a little bit later on. And once again, on top of that, you have insane survivability. Now, you have a few weaknesses in the paladin area. So the first thing is that Holy Light build requires you to be pretty on top of your mana management. Using your new spell Divine Plea to regenerate your mana at the correct times in a fight is really going to carry you through them. And secondly is that you don't really have much mobility, though engineering kind of sorts that out for you, and that your AoE healing is dependent on people being stacked. And even then it's not ridiculously powerful, and also them hitting the mob, so healers won't get the AoE healing. So that's the only 2 weaknesses you have. Except for that, you are the best at tank and spot healing, and it's just a fantastic thing. So before I go into anything, I am briefly going to explain the Flash of Light build, very briefly, because I personally don't believe you should be playing this. This is a very low gear or low brain power build. I'm going to put it on screen now. These are the talents you go. These are the glyphs you go. You can pause it if you need to. On top of that, you're basically stacking intellect, spell power, and crit, because you heal so fast with this, you don't really need haste. So you basically just want to go for intellect, spell power, crit, and then you just beacon the tank, put your sacred shield on the tank, judgment, and then spam Flash of Light and Holy Shock. Okay, so that's basically it. So the Holy Light build, as I said before, does have a slightly higher skill cap than the Flash of Light build, because it is very mana intensive. Unless you need to be very good at using your consumables and using your Divine Plea at the right times to not nerf your healing when you really need it. However, in the Holy Light build you gain 2 big things. First thing is, as I mentioned before, the Divine Sacrifice. This literally is an extra external cooldown. Imagine a Disc Priest having 2 pain suppressions and one of them being AoE. And the second is the Glyph of Holy Light causes your Holy Light to heal targets around your target that you've healed for 10% of the healing done. I think it's 5 target capped. Now that's a 50% heal increase, and on the melee that are normally stacked on most fights, this is just an extra. So you're not only so you Holy Light, you heal the target you're healing, so that's a spot heal. That then translates to your beacon target, which is then tank healing, and then it AoE heals around the Holy Light target for 10% of the healing done. So you're doing a bit of AoE healing while your Judgment of Light is also healing anybody hitting the target. You can see why Holy Paladins start to become kind of insane. Outside of this, like I said, just manage your mana. Now, the build will be on screen. It should have been on screen. Pause it if you need to look at the build / glyph. So I'm not going to go over each talent point. But then we're going to go a little bit into gems now. Now, the main meta gem you want is Insightful. This will stay the same throughout the expansion. A little change coming to this is Insightful costs 1 of each gem to activate. Now, there's a beautiful thing called the Enchanted or the Nightmare tier. Enchanted is the smaller one, and Nightmare is the big boy one. This is a prismatic gem that will fit into any socket to activate a bonus and counts as 1 of every gem. So you literally put your Insightful in, and then you put your tier in, whether it's Enchanted or Nightmare, depending how cheap you are. Boom, meta gem is sorted. From there, you fully stack either intellect gems if you're running in fights, or haste gems if you're not running in fights and you want a little bit more throughput. Holy Light doesn't have that really quick cast time, so stacking haste is pretty good. If you hit a point where you're so fat, if you're not going and your cast times are pretty quick anyway, then you can kind of go into crit if you want, but it's not really my recommendation. But you can kind of do it. But basically, intellect, haste, depending on which one you need. So intellect for going haste for doing more HPS, and then spell power, crit. Okay, and then MP5 right at the last. On the screen as well, I'm going to put every enchant you need as well. just so you can see what the kind of thing you want. Now we've dealt with how you build your Paladin, let's think about professions. Now, currently on the Wrath of the Lich King beta, the dual crafting is the buffed version, the final version of dual crafting, making dual crafting probably your best profession. This will provide you with huge intellect or haste gems alongside a very powerful trinket in the Talisman Owl, I think it's called. It'll be on screen right now. This trinket at the beginning in tier 7 is a fantastic trinket, and you'll basically keep it till you get your dual intellect trinkets from Ulduar. Now, the second profession is kind of an oddball for me. I don't think I could ever live without engineering. Having your Nitro boots now as an enchant on your boots, meaning you can wear your regular boots and get a speed increase whenever you want, and also having a on-use haste buff on your gloves. I literally can't see any reason not to go it. So for me, dual crafting engineering would be my best pick. However, I have a profession video in my channel. You can go there and look through all the professions, and you can kind of make your own choice if you want. But for me, dual crafting engineering is pretty much it. So the fight is about to begin. The first thing we do is put beacon on your current tank that is going to be main tanking, and then you're going to put sacred shield on that tank as well. Now before the combat actually starts, you want to sit down, try and replenish the mana you've just spent, because Beacon of Light costs quite a bit of mana, and then you're going to buff, then you're going to make sure you have Seal of Wisdom on yourself. From there, you're going to be running in, casting your Judgment of Light on the target, and then proceeding to do Holy Light as spot healing on the raid in order to then beacon heal your tank. Now, you want to make sure you're Holy Shocking on cooldown. 1, it's fantastic, it's instant cast and has a higher crit rate, and 2, it can, when it crits, it provides you with Infusion of Light, which will then further buff your Holy Lights, okay? Outside of that, you'll be making sure you're managing your Judgment, making sure you're keeping Sacred Shield on the active tank, and making sure Beacon stays on your active tank as well. There is no pandemic system here, so make sure you replace them as they fall off, not before, because you're just wasting mana. Then, all you're doing is Holy Shocking and Holy Lighting on cooldown. The Flash of Light build plays exactly the same, except you're going to be using Flash at the end instead of Holy Light. Now the big thing, like I said before, is to make sure you make use of all of your utility. Blessing of Freedom, Hand of Freedom now, Hand of Protection, Hand of Sacrifice, and Divine Sacrifice. Make sure you're using them all to the maximum capability. Like I said, Hand of Sacrifice and Divine Sacrifice together allow you to have 2 personal cooldowns whenever you like. And the last thing is you get Aura Mastery. Now Aura Mastery will increase your current aura by 100%. This sounds kind of like however, this could either be a nice armor buff, or if you're against, let's say, Saphirin in Nax and you have Frost Resistance aura up, you can double the amount of Frost Resistance on everybody with a click of a button, which sounds naff, but actually can be really nice in some situations, okay? And that's it. Beacon up, Sacred Shield up, Judgment Management on your target, Holy Shock on cooldown, spam with a Flash of Light or Holy Light, depending on the build you're playing. It is that easy. So, to sum everything up, Paladin is going from rags to riches. It is an absolute madman, and if you've played it in the past 2 expansions, you've been pretty downtrodden as the buff boy, so now is your time to rise up. Thank you to everybody that's been watching my videos. I cannot thank you enough. And until next time, peace.